What's up, it's the kid 50 Cent coming at you live, you hear me? Oh man, it feels great to be on tour with the entire G Unit. You know, I get a chance to expose all of them to my audience. It's good, myself, Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, Olivia, Mobb Deep, Prodigy and Havoc, M.O.P., Billy and Fame, Spider. Yeah. You know, the only one's not here is Tony Ayo. People still view G Unit as a group, you know, and what they're saying is G Unit growing is G Unit as a group is over. You know, G Unit as a company is developing, so we're absorbing new artists like Mobb Deep and M.O.P., and they should look forward to even more artists coming over to G Unit, and it's happening in the way it is in such a rapid pace because they're seeing the projects being marketed and promoted properly. Yeah. So yeah, I think every artist's dream is to have their project being taken care of properly. They want it to be successful. Well, I'm pretty programmed for doing more than one thing at a time, you know, multitask. So I'll go out on a tour and fly back to Dublin tomorrow and do a reshoot for the film and then come back to the tour and do other things. I shot a music video 2 days ago, you know. The film is loosely based on my life story, so they used the tools of engrossment at some points and they modified my lifestyle to make it entertaining cinematically a little more, you know. So to give you an example of the difference between Curtis Jackson, myself, and my character, Marcus Greer, is Curtis Jackson was born in South Jamaica, Queens, New York, and Marcus Greer was born in the South Bronx. My best friend growing up, his name was Charles Pringle. His sister name was Charlene. They lived right across the street from me. He lived with both his mother and father, so the rules in his house were so strict that when the lights came on, street light came on, he had to be in the house, you know, but that was Curtis Jackson. And Marcus Greer, his best friend, lives across the street from him, but her name is Charlene. And later on in the movie, she becomes his love interest, but she starts out with her parents, both of her parents, and she has to be in the house when the street light comes on. Absolutely. I composed the whole soundtrack for the film. I wrote material for scenes in the film. You know, that specific scenes that you know what is really difficult for me to do? For me not to sound good rapping. It's really hard. You know, like, 'cause you spend so much time programming yourself to do it a certain way that when it comes time for you to write something that doesn't work, it's difficult. Yeah, I had to go from the beginning not being good and doing different things, so it was a weird process. I mean, one of the difficult points for me making the film was the portion of the film where I get shot, but not when I'm getting shot in the film. That was cool. It was the operating table portion of it because I had to kind of lay there with makeup and prosthetics on me for 8 hours. And I'm sitting there, and you got the actors over you doing great jobs at delivering lines and pretending to be surgeons. But they never been in this situation when I've actually been here. But when I was in that situation, I was unconscious. At this time, I can hear everything. Yeah. You know, it's a little awkward, but it's cool. I kind of consider it like my new album, you know, because I recorded like 8 records, and even the records that they're on, I kind of created the direction for them. So it's exciting. When the G Unit albums come, everybody brings their own input and different things. I kind of built this record while I was on the movie set. So as soon as it said cut, I ran off to a studio trailer and recorded the music. It's on the soundtrack. Yeah, Quincy Jones. I called in Quincy Jones trying to make the project as big as possible, you know, so he brought out the big guns. You know, Quincy Jones is incredible. Like, one day, if I can continue to have the success that I'm having, I want them to compare my success to Quincy Jones' success. You know, it's been that phenomenal, and to have him work with me it's exciting, man. You know, he's gonna definitely bring his element to it. I want everybody that's the best at what they do. Jim Sheridan is an incredible director, great storyteller. You know, he's actually a good actor, but you know, he's a director. He can give you an example of what he wants you to do. Window Shopper, it's inspired by the film. There's a scene in the film where young Marcus Griddick, the younger version of my character, is looking in the window at a pair of Reeboks, actually. And he just wants the shoes. He's trying to give himself a, he's looking and he's giving himself a goal. He's giving himself some motivation by actually seeing it. They go to the store, look through the window, and then he leaves pumped up enough to do what he has to do to get it, and then he starts hustling to get the actual shoes, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't advise any kids to go out there and do it, but for me, my experiences, I think the things you go through make who you are. And my experiences, I didn't have a real easy time in school. So, you know, you tell a kid that's having a difficult time in school, if you do this for 8 more years, you can get a new car. And then you allow a kid's curiosity to lead him through his neighborhood. They find somebody who got it in 6 months hustling. Doesn't seem like one of the options. It seems like the only option. You know, and I just went after it real early. This is the very first video that's been shot out there in Montego. Yeah, because I had a relationship with Prince Albert from Monaco. So I was able to get permits to shoot places that people wouldn't get permits to shoot. So it's hot. It's gonna be big. You know what I mean? Like the window shopper, the whole vibe of the song. You know, the actual title is self-explanatory to what this record is about.